situation you've got here, not only what promises to be a very physical match, but also what promised to be a very intellectual match. Jackson, coming off those ropes, tried to catch him, and Roop was set and ready for him. Jackson, with his master's degree in education, Roop with his degree in political science, Jackson out of Alabama, Birmingham, and Roop out of Southern Illinois. Beautiful head scissors by, I wonder, was Roop setting him up? Aha! I just started to say, I wondered if Roop was setting him up. Roop. And he'll do that. One thing I've noticed about Roop, he'll draw a man in. And anybody who's ever wrestled knows, if you draw a man in, he'll come in and he'll make a mistake. Sometimes the further in he gets, the better off he thinks he is, and actually he's just getting himself deeper in trouble. So it's a cerebral match between these two. There's no question about it, but also an extremely physical match. Snapmare by Roop. Jackson, who has a reputation of going to the air, I'm sure after what just happened to him, may give some serious second thoughts to that again. Roop drove him through the ropes with a forearm to the side of the head. Roop bringing him back inside once again. Roop, a forearm across the chest. Roop is an extremely efficient competitor. There's no loss of motion. And Jackson, that time, was one step ahead of him. Jackson closes in on him now. Jackson using that speed to his own advantage and punishing that left arm of Bob Roop. And so it is Jackson. Good second effort here, but Roop turned the tables on him once again. And it was Jackson trying a cross body block. Roop paralleled his body, and as he did, Jackson bit the canvas. And it's Roop setting him for the shoulder. Ooh, brother. A shoulder breaker into a forward slam. Shoulder breaker into a forward slam by Bob Roop over Mike Jackson. And it was a question here of an outstanding big man beating an outstanding smaller man. No question about that, as I said. Both a cerebral and a physical match. And it appeared to me that you had studied Mr. Jackson and knew that he likes to go to the air, because it certainly appeared to me you tried to set him up.
Well, Gordon, that's very astute. I know that's how you came by your position as the premier commentator and analyzers, by noticing those things. One way is to let a man take a move, succeed with it. If nothing else works, he'll come back to it. Mike Jackson came back to it right away. I just want to say, I've been around a week now. I've been on tour, and I haven't been out nightclubbing, and I haven't been out looking at cities. I've been watching matches. I've been scouting people, and there is top competition here. But I've already figured out ways to beat people, and there are ways that people are not going to like. Nobody likes to get beat, but I like to beat people in such a way that it's clear to everyone. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that it's a clear-cut win, and nobody says, oh, let's have a rematch. I want to wrestle the top people in the country right here on national television and show who's the best. It's a risk, because if I can't back up what I say, then I'm the one that'll have to pack up and leave. But I've unpacked my bags, Gordon, and you people out there, keep tuning in, because you're going to be seeing Bob Roop for a long time.
Thank you so very much. And obviously he has a goal in mind, and that must be indeed that national heavyweight champion. Okay, now, here are the, well, that's an unusual set of looking clubs that you have there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gordon, they're not mine. They're the Iron Sheiks, and as you can see, I picked them up. I was having a little trouble getting my balance. And I'll tell you, it's a heck of a feeling to do this. And I want all the people to realize a lot of people's tried this. Here you see 1, 2. I got my rhythm going, Gordon. I got my rhythm going, and I work out with kegs of beer like that. Now you see the Sheik is going a little bit crazy. You other people in the background counting. I mean, they're with it, Gordon. They want to see a red-blooded American bull whip this Iranian thing. You hear them in the background?
Sure can.
Now, I'm starting to lose them a little bit, Gordon. I mean, I'm not trained to listen. It takes a lot of training and practice to get those clubs. And you can see I'm getting a little bit wide there.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing them.
Still doing it, and you're still doing them correctly.
One for the Marine Corps and one for Chesty Puller. Now, that's what I don't like, Gordon. If you see that, it reminds me of 1941. Attack, Tora. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you think those clubs won't walk you, right now, Gordon, I thought my ribs were busted. I thought, well, I really don't know what I thought. I thought I was back in boot camp in the Marine Corps. Very super deep, too.
Yeah, everybody's closing in at one time. A lot of strange kind of courage exhibited here.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not a man to quit, Gordon. You've known me through the years. And right now, I'm just thinking about saving me because I know my ribs are hurt here. I was looking there, and there you see a shot to the ribs, Gordon, where he hit me with those clubs. And I was just thinking about getting out of there, Gordon. I didn't really want to do anything.
Well, all right. Now then, now you're beginning to pay back some of the dues that are owed.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gordon, right there you see it. I thought right there my ribs were all busted. I was ready to quit, but being what I am, I'll tell you what, I got my second winner, Gordon. I was lucky I give Super D a heck of a shot, but he comes back and he goes right back on my ribs. And I was, like I say, I was just thinking about getting out of there in one piece, Gordon. And I see this man around the world. He's a heck of a competitor, a heck of an athlete. Right here, all I had left in me was just to kick out right here, Gordon. It's all I had left because I only got $5,000. I got a woman at home that needs the money. I need to feed them.
Well, and obviously it was more than just that was driving you forward, though, as he tried to set you up for that superplex, which, of course, is a devastating situation. The referee hurdled to one side, and you caught him with that size 12 coming in.
And then I did a move here that I was very seldom ever do, a flying body press. I went a 1-2-3 on him, man. And I'll tell you what, the people in the Omni, they went completely crazy. I want to thank you.
Takes on the Russian bear, Ivan Koloff. Battle of the Wild Men. Abdullah the Butcher against Bruiser Brody. National Heavyweight Championship. Paul Orndorff, champion, defends against the superstar. The Iron Sheik collides with Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch. Stan the Man Hansen against the Super Destroyer. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer clashes with Johnny Rich. It's Ray Candy and Tito Santana against the Moondogs. Bob Roop takes on Tom Prichard. Precious Paul against Chief Joe Lightfoot. That's the 27th, 8 o'clock.
Sawyer and Ivan Koloff moving out against Brad Armstrong and Pat Rose. One fall, 10-minute time limit, an Australian tag team match. Up against the ropes, and it is Sawyer pulling Brad Armstrong. Cocks that right hand, and Sawyer thinks better of it and backs away. Off the ropes, Armstrong catches him, a good shoulder smash. Armstrong up and over his man. It's Sawyer. Two leapfrogs, but Armstrong was set for him. A spin under takedown. Another spin under takedown. He makes the tag with Pat Rose, and Rose catches him. So Buzz Sawyer, who is never lacking in confidence, said, "Whoa, brother." He turned things around, but Rose hung on like a pit bull. Sawyer catching him with a couple of forearms. Brad Armstrong moving him back in once again after Koloff had tagged up. Koloff caught now. Good fireman carry takedown by Brad Armstrong. Armstrong drives the knee into the biceps of Ivan Koloff, the Russian bear. Koloff and Brad Armstrong tried a cross body block. Koloff one step ahead. Moved out of the way. Sawyer rifles the knee into the back of Brad Armstrong. Koloff comes down with an elbow. It's Brad Armstrong rolling to one side. Pat Rose set for Buzz Sawyer. Sawyer. Wow! Sawyer fainted high, drove a knee into the midsection. tag with Sawyer. As Rose in trouble there as Rose came down from a high backdrop. Koloff tags up, Sawyer moves in. Sawyer has him in that bear hug. Tactic that he has picked up from Ivan Koloff and has been using it very effectively. Now drives him back in. By the way, I'd like to remind you, of course, we've had several inquiries. The National Tag Team Championship has been held up. Sawyer missed that time and is in trouble as Brad Armstrong makes the tag. Armstrong exploding on Sawyer's midsection. Armstrong catches him a drop kick coming off the rope. As Koloff starts to charge in, Armstrong catches him. Brad Armstrong punishing both Sawyer and Koloff at the same time. Ooh, brother. And Armstrong practically knocked into the next county on that one. Armstrong tags up. Pat Rose moves in. High backdrop once again. Pat Rose, a beautiful drop kick. Standing drop kick by Rose, and Rose closes in, but Koloff stops his momentum. Drives that Russian boot into the side of his head. Good backbreaker by Koloff. This is the thing about Koloff and Sawyer. Brother. It's over. It's over. You could tell the minute Sawyer went to the air, he took that full 230-some-odd pounds crashing into the chest of Pat Rose, and pretty well put Mr. Rose into Knoxville for now.
It sounds like Bruce Reed laying out there, don't it, huh?
A little bit like Bruce Reed.
A little bit like Reed last week. You remember that, huh?
I remember last week. I don't know. I certainly do. I'll tell you what. For those of you who may have missed the program last week, this man seems extremely proud of what happened. Let's take a look at the situation that occurred with Bruce Reed, Buzz Sawyer, Ivan Koloff, and others. Across the eyes of Hacksaw Butch Reed. Koloff closes in a forearm smash across the back. Arm whip into the rope. Good move by Reed. Has Koloff down. One. But for a minute he had the pin. Both men coming back to their feet. And it's Koloff. Overhooks the head. Brings him a good block by Reed. Koloff now. Caught in a vertical suplex by Hacksaw Butch Reed and Ivan Koloff on the canvas now, and Reed crashing down, but it is Koloff rolling to one side again. Referee Nick Patrick holding a count on both men, and both men coming back to their feet. It's Koloff a little bit faster, a little bit surer of foot right now, and Reed in trouble. You talk about a brawl between, as I said before, two giants of the wrestling world. You've got it here. Koloff using that forearm, and now arm whips Reed into the turnbuckle. And Koloff trying to set him up. Reed stunned and dazed in that corner. Reed turns into his man, has him up a high body slam. And wait a minute. The Super Destroyer just charged the ring. The referee has called for the bell. The Super Destroyer has charged the ring. And Hacksaw Butch Reed. Full body slam on him. And wait a second now. There is a Buzz Sawyer, and he caught him in the back. And we've got all of them down on him at one time. The Super Destroyer, Buzz Sawyer, and Ivan Koloff. And now they're punishing Hacksaw Butch Reed. And we've got to get some orderly sport here. Referee Nick Patrick hurdled outside the ring, and Koloff off the rope. On down across Hacksaw Butch Reed. And Reed in left trouble. There comes Stan Hansen, Brad Armstrong. Johnny and Tommy are in, and they have cleared the ring in a hurry.
in the country that I like. And I want to tell you, ain't
I have to agree with him on that.
I'm going to rip his hair and blood there right off it. Look at that. Signed up with contract against Chattanooga, the Omni, on tour, and I'm hoping this Reed, if he's got the guts, will sign the match against Koloff. I would like nothing better to have no rules at all, and just put him and myself in the ring. I would tear him apart.
I'd also like to remind you, of course, we will be wrestling Monday 14th in Augusta, Georgia.
Over the place. I'm sick of the Riches. I'm sick of the Reeds. I'm sick of everybody. I got class. Bob Sawyer, they're going to remember me for it. Oh, we're going to the Omni. We got Stan Hansen out here saying, oh, I'm somebody, you know. I'm going to beat that little half-point.
You better worry about Tommy Rich tonight, and here's a very special word upcoming. Okay, a very partisan crowd here as the Iron Sheik moves into the ring. He, of course, a gold medal winner from Iran in the Olympics. We've had two Olympians on the program today. Roop, of course, who competed in the Olympics in Mexico. Outstanding Greco-Roman competitor. And Randy Barber. Caught with a fireman carry takedown, and the Sheik drives a boot into the chest of Randy Barber. Chuck Sidwell was one of the top performers with the circus here in town. And I were talking the other day about this man, the Iron Sheik, and we kind of felt that Dick Murdoch, Captain Redneck, would be the man to put him down. And joining me right here is a gentleman who, well, certainly needs no introduction to wrestling fans the world over.
Let's get the niceties over, all the buttered up everything. Let's get over. You know me, I'm General Homer Odell.
Exactly.
Take care of that. I was laying up there on my ranch, and I hear all this about the situation of the World Tag Team Champions and National Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, those belts have been held up, General.
Held up, this and that. Well, it seems nobody can straighten this thing up. So the thing for me to do is to bring my people in here and straighten it out myself. That's just what I have in mind. That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to look around and see what's going on. And if it suits me, I'll bring them in, and if it don't, then I'll go someplace else. But I believe they need me here. People know me here and know when I do something, I do it right. Because I never managed anybody that wasn't a champion. So when I bring the boys in here, they will be champions shortly.
That's an interesting observation, and I must say that Odell carries with him an international reputation, and I know, of course, that, all right, look, the Iron Sheik punishing the throat of Randy Barber, keeping him on the mat and in trouble. Would you care to divulge any further information about Punk?
Like I said, I'm going to stand here and look around. But what I've seen now, man, you've got a mob in here. I mean, all these guys are world champion. I mean, any of them can be world champion, and most any of their opponents can take it away from them at any given time. So the thing to do is bring your people in here, tell them what's got to be done. Now, I'll put myself out on a limb. When I bring them in here, you're going to get hurt. That's the business we're in. Now, if you can't take it, just pack your sack and get. If you can take it, hurt my boys if you want to. If you can't, hurt them. They like it.
All right, the further comments from General Homer Odell, and I might just point out that, of course, his reputation precedes him. He has some of the greatest tag team combinations and some of the greatest single wrestlers. Beautiful salto by the Iron Sheik, and nobody can take away this man's fantastic ability as a competitor.
Well, you know, all them, what is it, Arab or something?
Iranian.
Iranian. Well, you know, they're pretty mean boys over there. Although they're having a little hard time of it right now, you know, but some of their neighbors over there, they've got a little scuffle going. But I know this man, he did not like some of the American boys. He comes in here, he comes in from the wild. He comes in out of the jungle. So he's a good rough boy, you know that.
No question about that. And right now, the Iron Sheik dominating the situation with Randy Barber, and Barber in trouble as the Sheik brings him back to his feet. And the Sheik rips across the back, being warned by the referee, Nick Patrick, about his tactics, and the Sheik continues to completely dominate the situation.
That young boy's in a world of trouble right about now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would think he's been in trouble from early on in the match. He has been pretty much outclassed by the Sheik, but he doesn't have... Oh! Belly to back suplex by the Iron Sheik. The Sheik crashes down with that elbow across the chest and has him for the gun. Okay, General Homer Odell and the Iron Sheik taking a victory stance at this particular moment. And with me here at the podium is a man who's looking for, well, he's got...
People, USA, USA, this is not Iran. This is not Saudi Arabia. This is the United States of America, the freest country in the world today. And I guarantee you one thing. Step on over here, boys. Try that right now. Because we're going to have us find a hold down right here, whether it be here on television or all around the world. This TV station is produced. I am the most patriotic man there is in the world today, Gordon. And there's a lot of us out there that fit the same category that I'm in. And I'll guarantee you one thing. Come on over here, Sheik. Hey, boy.
Captain, I don't want any problems here at the podium, sir. The place to take care of that would be right there.
We're not going to have any problem at the podium. We're going to have problems right here at this desk you're standing at. Now, I'll guarantee you, Gordon, come or high water. Me and that man right there are going to get down like in the mud and the blood and the beer. This old dog has come to fight.
This hour, Precious Paul moving out against Bob Owens. One fall, a 10-minute time limit. And hopefully I'll have Dick Murdoch, Captain Redneck, out here very shortly. And we'll be chatting with him, and I'll be asking him to lend his comments to the matches. Ellering, of course, has held world records in weightlifting and in bodybuilding. An outstanding athlete. Top wrist lock, and Ellering using that tremendous power puts Bob Owens back to the canvas. And Dick Murdoch has joined us.
Well, Gordon, thank you very much. You know, it's a pleasure, like always, to be on here with you, one of the finest commentators in the world today, and any sports event.
Well, thank you very much. We're watching an extremely powerful man in Precious Paul.
Boy, you doggone right. He is, you know, even to this day, Paul Ellering holds a lot of world records in powerlifting. In the state of Minnesota, he's a very, very talented athlete. And as you can see, he keeps his body in tip-top physical condition.
Certainly no question about that. And, of course, right now it's Bob Owens with a hammerlock on Ellering, trying to stay behind his man. And it's Ellering now trying to figure an escape. Good single leg pickup by Ellering from, and it was Owens trying to set up Ellering. Ellering drops to one side, catches him with an elbow, and Owens has his own problem.
You know, to be one of the great competitors in this profession, which I consider the world's greatest profession and great sport, you got to scout your opponents at all times. You see Paul press that man. Gordon, you come closer to telling me how much that ball weighs that he just pressed. But, you know, you got to scout your opponents, and you never take Paul Ellering short. You always are watching him.
Well, certainly no question about that, and that's exactly what Ellering is doing right now. Is this is a good opportunity. Caught him right in that top ring rope across the throat. And Owens has got some more problems. I notice, of course, that you study a lot of films and watch competitors that you may be facing.
Well, I sure do, Gordon. You know, I've been in this profession a few years, and I never take anybody light or shy. And I never go into the ring thinking I can beat an opponent very, very easily, no matter who he is. And I watch all of them, just like Paul Ellering right now. I'm watching his moves. I'm trying to pick up a weak spot if I had to go in against him and compete against the man.
Well, of course, you've had an opportunity to go against the Iron Sheik, and we saw on an earlier hour the fact that you were able to handle those clubs, which frankly did not surprise me, but I think did surprise a lot of people.
Well, it surprised me, but you know, last week when I was home in Texas, snowed in that snowstorm. I didn't have a whole lot of things to do, and I practiced swinging my gal around there in Canyon, Texas, and I got in pretty good condition, Gordon. That helped me to get those clubs going.
Now it's just a question of getting that $5,000.
Yeah, she already wants part of that, too.
All right, fair enough. Ellering now is Owens. Well, sure, I suppose. Ellering dominating his man, using his legs very effectively, and now with that forearm across the back of the head of Owens, Owens obviously is trying to figure an escape from this and a counter. Finally gets that arm free, and as he does, Ellering hooks in into a cravat, brings him over, and Owens in a definite predicament here.
You're doggone right. You know, Paul Ellering going there and showing you a good amateur move, showing you that he can insert amateur moves into his professional ability. And I'll tell you what, this Paul Ellering got some better kicking gear, Gordon.
Owens having more than his share of problems, and it is Owens still on the canvas as Ellering completely dominates the situation. And now Ellering, as I've said before, he is quite a narcissistic person, and evidenced that just now. Ellering arm whips him off, caught him with a knee deep in the abdomen, coming off the ropes, and Ellering stalks his man once again. Owens on the canvas, and Owens has been beaten down rather quickly by Ellering. Ellering drives that knee into Owens once again. Remember, this match, one fall, a 10-minute time limit, and thus far, Ellering has been in complete command all the way.
He's ahead on points, isn't he?
Yeah, no question about that. Unfortunately, we don't score points, but if points were to be scored, he would have an overwhelming lead.
You know, it's very, very hard, Gordon, for this fellow that Paul Ellering to get any game plan going, as you would call it, because he's been completely off balance by Paul Ellering's offensive style and his strength and his strongness. And he's keeping him down with that big arms and stuff, keep driving knees into the back of his head, into his ribs, like you said, and he's keeping the man completely off balance.
And, of course, now beginning to punish the legs of Owens, and he continues to take away these points of attack, points of balance. Owens now hooking the chin, trying to bring Ellering back, but Ellering outpowers him on that, and so referee Nick Patrick just watching now to find out if Owens wants to concede, if he wants to give up, and once again, it's Owens rear chin locking, and may have enough leverage this time.
Well, you know, Gordon, if I was in this match, see there, Paul, he sat out and put that hammerlock in. If it was me, I would be working only one part of this man's body, whether it be his leg or his arms, or wearing him down with a headlock, working on that neck, because once you get that neck wore down yourself, your body has got to follow your head. You know, that's why a lot of people use a headlock so powerful. But I'd work on one part of this man's body and wear it down instead of going from head to toe.
That's an interesting observation, and difference in strategy involved here, and Ellering has been not at random, but has been working on Owens from his legs all the way to the top of his head, and now has a rear chin lock on Owens. Owens turns into it, and Ellering drives a high knee into the side of the jaw of Owens. And referee Nick Patrick closing in once again as Owens is hurtled outside the ring onto the concrete.
Well, he hit about 7 on the Richter scale in Denver, didn't it?
It sure did. His head walloped that concrete, and now Ellering drives Owens back inside the ring again. Gets him back before the count.
Now, Gordon, why would you take somebody and throw him out and help him back in? If I was going to throw him out, I'd keep him out and hammer him out there, you know, Gordon.
Owens reverses that, but Ellering caught him coming off the ropes.
Beautiful clothesline. You got to give the man credit. That was a beautiful maneuver.
Quick thinking on the part of Precious Paul. And as he came off those turnbuckles, caught him, now has him in that modified neck breaker. And that one catches the cervical area of the back of the neck. It is, indeed.
It was over. I knew it when the man applied it. It was a first neck breaker. It is over, Gordon.
Thank you so very much. Let me see if I can't get Precious Paul over here for just a moment and get a word or two with him, if we may. Precious Paul Ellering, the holder of a lot of world records, and certainly the undisputed victor.
You know, I sit in the back room, and I read. And do you know what I read? I read the Wall Street Journal. And I find the Dow Jones average. And I look at it, and I see that all the wrestlers are average. And Precious Paul has got the body of a Greek god. The mind of Socrates. And a wrestling machinery that has never been surpassed. And you will find on God's green earth that when it comes to being great, Precious Paul's the greatest. I got the look. It gets the look. And this body writes no checks. It can't cash. I love me. I love myself. Oh, I get better looking every day. Look at the awesome power. Can you imagine having this 21-inch python around your neck?
Well, maybe a 10-minute time limit now in this Australian tag team match. The Superstar and the Super Destroyer going up against Randy Barber and Tom Prichard. And I'll tell you something, young Tom Prichard, I think, is a young fellow with a great future in front of him, and a fellow Texan of yours.
That's right, it's in Houston, Texas, but I'll say one thing. Barber and Prichard are going against two big, tough, powerful individuals. And, you know, I've been around the world a few times, and Superstar is one tough hombre. Prichard and Barber could stand to have the Duke, John Wayne, on their side to get them out of this situation.
Yeah, I would have to go along with that, although...
Marines, calling the Marine Corps. They've landed situations well in hand.
Prichard just defended them very well, and Prichard was set and ready for them. Prichard, by the way, was also a karate instructor, and is well versed in the martial arts, has great speed, great capabilities in the ring, giving away some height and some poundage here, but as I've heard you say so many times, on the mat they're all the same size.
That's exactly it. Once you're on your back, no matter how big that old boy is on top of you, you're the same size he is.
Referee Nick Patrick having his hands full now, and the Superstar has the takedown, but Prichard powers out the Superstar with a quick snap mare. And the Superstar, of course, has that Cobra hold that is, well, it's extremely efficient.
You know, the Superstar is a very, very big and powerful individual. You know, the day of the 230, 220-pound professional wrestlers over, you're looking at people right here, 285, 290, big and move like they weigh 250, Gordon.
Well, I cannot totally agree with that. I don't wish to take issue with you, but I have seen, very frankly, a host of great competitors at 220, 230 pounds. You've got your World Junior Heavyweight Championship that's extremely critical. But I will agree that certainly these 260, 270, 280 pounders, a lot of them do move like 200 pounders.
I wouldn't tell you nothing against the lighter weights. They are great in your weight class, but once they step up to this heavyweight division, Gordon, that's what I mean.
I follow you, yes.
They got to put horseshoes in their boots to get the weight out.
Okay, I'll work on that one. And Superstar now lashes out a hard right hand to the midsection of Barber. Off the ropes, caught him with an elbow. Barber dropped to the canvas. And here's where that height and weight and power differential is beginning to make a difference. Barber has not been able to move effectively against him. Got him in a backbreaker. That has to jar that spine, and those discs are taking a lot of punishment here. Another reason why so many professional wrestlers after retirement suddenly find themselves with a multitude of back problems. The Super Destroyer coming off that second rope. And, of course, the Super Destroyer is well known for that superplex that he uses.
You know, Gordon, a lot of people's got different styles of training, different styles of keeping in shape. Mine is when I'm up here, I'm looking forward to getting home to Canyon, Texas, and float dance with Arlene.
Prichard moving effectively momentarily, and then all of a sudden it was Super D beginning to put the halt to him. Now the Superstar and Super D before the count. Got it in, and referee Nick Patrick warning him. Look at this, Prichard fire back. Prichard now has the Superstar in possible trouble. Ooh, man, like hitting a redwood tree.
That's what I'm telling you about that extra poundage, Gordon. I'm telling you about extra poundage. I'm an authority on extra poundage. Here, a lot of times. You know, the original Texas Outlaws, Murdoch and Rhodes, 330 pounds. You knew us back then. You knew when we rolled. But there's, you know, how all the people knew us. We both went our separate ways. We've both done good. I'm sitting here with the finest commentator in the world today. That's even including Cosell. And I'm sitting here watching the finest professional in the world, professional wrestling.
Knowing you, of course, you're going to keep traveling.
You doggone right, I got to. Got people hot on my tail, I got to keep going.
Right.
Badly, something's got a draft card. They want me to re-up in the Marine Corps. I told them my service number 201-9391. Private H.R. Murdoch Jr., but they won't be back in.
It is Prichard in trouble now as the Super D catches him once again, and Super Destroyer came down with a knee that time. Prichard was fast enough to roll to one side. Prichard catches him at the belt line coming in, then catches one on the jaw. Quick tag now to Randy Barber. Woo, brothers. Barber came in. Didn't have it together, and the Super Destroyer showed where the mental gymnastics are just as important, because he was ahead of him on that step and ahead of him once again. Barber driven back to the canvas, and it is Barber in a lot of trouble here, and the tag is made. You notice the cool precision and professionalism between the Superstar and the Super Destroyer. A dangerous tag team combination, and since those National Tag Team Championship belts have been held up, these two certainly have to be rated as prime contenders.
You know, Gordon, if you'll watch these two men in action, neither one of them stay in the ring very long. They quick tag, they're in, they never let either one get too tired or get too much. Oh, what a beautiful suplex. Really the better suplex. But you look at them and they never get too much trouble. They're always tagging it out. They keep a freshman in there. That is what constitutes a good team.
No question about that. We're seeing one of the finest in action right. The Superstar caught him coming off the ropes, and there he goes. He's going for the Cobra hold, has the Cobra, and that's it. I have yet to see anybody get away from that Cobra. He's got him down on the canvas, and it is all over for Barber. I can assure you of that. The Superstar clamping down. This is a very dangerous hold, and may I advise you once again, those of you who are watching, don't ever try this hold, because the pressure comes across the carotid artery. It stops the blood supply to the brain, and that causes almost instantaneous unconsciousness. It's extremely dangerous and should not be done. Leave it to the professionals, believe me.
You know, I've been all over the country by myself lately. Everywhere I go, people come up and say to me, Super D, where's the Superstar? When are you getting back together again? I said, people, relax. He's coming back. Well, now, people, here he is. The Superstar's back. And you see he hasn't lost none of his touch. He's still got the touch with the clothesline and the Cobra hold. And if you people out there in TV land notice one thing, the Super Destroyer and the Superstar, we did it completely by the book. We broke on time. We didn't break any rules. We used legal holds the whole match. Not like some of these unsavory characters around here that you've been palling around with.
I'm not to introduce myself to you or the people, Gordon. I want to introduce myself to some of the new wrestlers around here, because it's going to be a matter of time when you sign a contract. You can back up your big words, Murdoch. Bruce Reed, all the so-called heroes, Paul Orndorff. Put your name on one of these contracts. Climb in the ring and see what you can do. Talk's cheap, everybody does it. Everybody does it. But what you saw right here is an example. We not only can talk, we can get in the ring and back up what we say.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And now here's a very special word. Also, Tuesday, March 8th, Championship Wrestling returns to Wheeling, West Virginia. And
you just keep your hands to yourself, Mr. Sawyer, because that's what everybody in the whole world is talking about. Buzz Sawyer's headgear, and they're talking about the beautiful hair I got underneath me. I got all kinds of hair under here. That's why in Columbus, Ohio, and like in Cincinnati, this coming tour, that's what Tommy Rich is up to. He's out to get this off and see my beautiful hair. Then this lady here, Deborah Hair, we have a lot in common. She's beautiful, and so am I, and my hair underneath here ain't quite that pretty, it ain't quite that long, but it's awful sexy. And Stan Hansen, you're the man. The last time you know me, you got a little taste of me. February the 27th, I'm coming at you, and the Pitbull is going up.
his outer garments now and getting set to move into action. As I said, one fall, television time remaining, and once again, high waist lift takedown. Here was a man who won a gold medal in the Olympics for the country of Iran, and he has carried forward in pro ranks extremely well, although he is obviously extremely disliked by wrestling fans here in the United States.
He's not only disliked by wrestling fans, he's disliked by Americans, red-blooded, true American people. You know, he brags about the 444 days that they held our people captive. But I'll guarantee...
Rose with a good roll. Pardon me for interrupting. Looked like Rose might have had something going for him there, and Rose back on his feet with a good drop kick once again, and now he's got the Sheik up against those ropes, and and the Sheik exploded.
He's going to pay, Gordon, for each one of those days. It's going to be minutes in that ring, and I'm going to make all the Americans proud that we are still a proud nation by waylaying his knob. And I'll guarantee you another thing. Have you seen that clown he walks out of that picture on that flag? Can you imagine anybody that ugly ruling the country?
It is the Sheik now has Rose in trouble on the ropes. And the Sheik again punishes him. And Rose is taking a lot of percussions across that thoracic area of the back. And again, the Iron Sheik with a forearm. Rose, who started out extremely well, as Allen. Good shot to the midsection by Pat Rose.
You know,
high backdrop, and Rose in trouble again.
All the people in there hollering, come on, Murdoch, get in there. Well, it's going to be time for it. I can't do it here, Gordon. You know that. We have a mutual agreement not to get any fights out here as I'm helping you commentate. You hear them? Poor old Murdoch. They want the captain in there, but I can't go, Gordon.
Well, no matter where you go, though, in the weeks to come, you can take him.
Oh, it's going to be a big one, Ohio, Cincinnati, Georgia, Michigan. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward all over the United States to battle that man.
And it's Sheik brings him up, full body slam, and putting more and more pressure on those arms. And so Pat Rose in trouble. One to the side of the rib cage now. The flat of the foot, though, it's within the perimeters, and
I'll tell you what, Gordon, you better not get on me too much. You know, I'm not in an arguing mood today.
well, I can understand how you feel. I can certainly understand that. Sheik has him up, full body slam on Pat Rose, and Rose, who's taken a lot of punishment in this match, and the Sheik is meeting it out even more.
You know, Gordon, this thing can happen in the alleys. It can happen in telephone booths, the diners, honky-tonks. You know yourself. You know me through the years, and I'm not bashful when it comes to fighting.
No, that's a fact.
And I am looking forward to battling this man all over, just like I'm looking forward, if I get through him, is going on to Anderson, to Buzz Sawyer, to another one, Ivan Koloff. You know, you ain't got that red, white, and blue in you. You're not a friend of mine.
And it is the Iron Sheik bringing him back up into the ropes once again. And trying to get his ear at this time, and he has got his attention. There's no question about that. Rose hurtled into the turnbuckle. The Iron Sheik catches him. Belly to back suplex. And that may well be all she wrote for Pat Rose. It is indeed. It is indeed Pat Rose defeated here